Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakatahal, Brakatahal Shah, Brakatahal, Brakatahal Shai, Brakatahal, Brakatahal Shai, the water, above, called Kadash. I'd like to give the honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach this truth, which we know is 100% truth. Do a lesson today, I guess it'll be part of my war report because right now, everything's amped up in the world, especially here in Babylon the Great, where so much is going on. You have stuff that's going on with ICE, people that's out. You got the Epstein files. You got they had the attack on Venezuela. And we already know what they call the so-called Middle East or Western Asia. Our homeland. That's always a hot spot. And, when you talk about what's going on in Ukraine, with the war that's going over there between them and Russia, and it's all these hot spots is all over the world. All that is kindling, for the return of our Lord, man, is the beginning. And one thing we noticed, like I said, main thing that's in the news right now, like I said, it's been the Epstein files, and supposedly today, I hadn't really looked into it yet, they supposed to drop the whole other half of the files, and it just kind of just dropped everything out there, they say. And supposedly on the list, they got even Elvis on the list, so they just throwing shit in there, just kind of muddy up the waters to try to make so everybody just throw the whole thing out the bathwater, saying that the whole thing is corrupted. And that way they can exonerate DJ Trump. But at the same time, it's not going away. They're trying to get this thing to go away. It's not going away. So either it's going to cause insurrection, which that might be one of their options, so that people can rise up and create some type of insurrection. Therefore, they can come in with their draconian laws. They can institute martial law. They're bringing these draconian laws, and therefore they can go ahead and usher in their MOTB. Because we know the MOTB is definitely coming out. It's definitely on the table. I don't think they're quite ready for it. That's through my spirit. Not until they get their 6G all the way up and running. But then again, they may just go ahead and put it in place. They may go ahead and run it now, start running it. We don't know, but we know we're definitely close to that time. And that's going to be a digital prison to everyone. Everybody's locked into this digital grid, and you're not going to be able to do anything unless you receive their mark. It goes all the way back to slavery, talking about a mark, man. It's not no spiritual thing. It's a physical mark that you're going to have to receive. Same as they marked the slaves when they came over here. They used to brand them to mark as being their property. They want to mark every man, woman, and child on this earth, pretty much on this earth, as being their property, which they like to label as Goyim. That's the elites. So they want everybody to be their Goyim, man. And therefore they have complete control over it. Because at this point, it's definitely not about money. They don't give a fuck about the money at that level that they're in. It's all about having complete and total control at their whim to be able to do whatever they want to do. And you have no say-so about it. Really, you don't have it right now, but they just want a total lock on you. And the Lord said, don't take the mark, man. Refuse to take this beast's mark. Because it's a beast system. And a beast, if you look at him up as a beast, he has no feelings, and he has no mercy, shows no mercy, and that's what they are, man. They're like a beast. They show no mercy, especially to you Israelites, you so-called Black, Hispanics, Native Americans. And then with the Epstein files, I was watching Richard, it might have been Richard from Boston, but he was saying this is kind of pushing their point where they gotta have to go ahead and create a war, which we know they're already setting up over there to go in on Iran. And once you go in on Iran, all hell may break loose, because Iran, they have those weapons, and they said I think they already have. They said they have a what they call a death hand button, that if they get wiped out, the button's going to be released. They can go ahead and send off their nuclear weapons, even if nobody's there to push the button. So we at that point, man. We had a beautiful time in history. We had a beautiful time in our history because we know we're almost at the end of this thing. Shit's going to get a lot more gory. Like I say, with these files coming out, we're seeing how wicked. We already knew how wicked this devil is, but the rest of the world get to see now because the allure, the enchantment that's been put on them is now being revealed, man. It's showing this devil for who he is, and when this devil get exposed, he's going to react. No, he's going to react. He's going to react off of instincts, and his natural instinct is to kill, grape, and destroy. So that brings me to Revelation chapter 13. We're going to go through there real quick. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beasts. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who was able to make war with him. And that's, the beast system is all of, EU. But, America, Babylon the Great, is the head of all those nations, man. She does the bidding of Esau, of those small hatters over there, which is really pretty much their operational base. Because they got everybody here so corrupted that whatever they tell the Babylonians to do, they're going to do it. We have the military might, the power to make war with anybody. And they gave you a small example of that when they went to Venezuela and said, we did that within a matter of minutes or a couple of hours. Went in there and took this guy, kidnapped him, and took over his country. Verse 7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and the power to give him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose name are not written in the book of life, and the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So, he's putting hell on the saints, man. He's putting hell on the children of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And through his oppression and through his, all his ways of trying to destroy you, Jace, man. Whether it's biological, psychological, or physical, straight up physical, they kill you on a daily. And all that dwell upon the earth, whose name was not written upon the book of life. And the book of life, that's what we striving for, that our name be written in that book of life, man. That the Lord find us acceptable to be redeemed, to be delivered up out of our bondage that we in, before this place be destroyed. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That's verse 10. He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity, and that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. So we have to be patient in this thing. We have to hold on, endure. We know we're almost at the end of this thing. And who's got us in captivity? Esau, Edom, man. These other nations, they have us in captivity. So they're going to go in captivity. These ruling elites, these ones that's going to go down in their bunkers and try to ride this thing out, we're going to dig them out of their bunkers, man. Their bunkers, and they're going to be our first slaves into the kingdom. And verse 11, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And that's that government system that we have here. Two horns like a lamb, Shalaka. That's the Democrat and the Republicans, man. They appear to be like a lamb, but the horns, man, is their weapons, And he spake as a dragon. That's his harsh policies and things that he does enforce throughout the world, and mainly on you Israelites. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and he causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And that was, Rome, when she lost its power. And then that's what they like to label as the Dark Ages. Then she coming back into power again through the time of 1492, when Cristobal Colon came back over here. She went back into power again. That's when that wound was healed. and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And we already know they got these space satellites, these nuclear weapons, these things that come out of the sky and pretty much obliterate, people. And I think they say over there in Gaza, they got this weapon that's vaporizing people, man. The power of this devil, man. All his ingenuity, all he does is find out a more profound way to kill. That's all he worried about. It's his power, his sword, man. That's his blessing, and he rules by it. So all that leads to right down here where we're going to right now, verse 16, because he wants total domination, total control. And how he's going to do that, he's going to implement you with that chip. And that's where everything's going to lead to. And all that's, at the end of the day, Yahweh Ba'Shem has put his devil in a trick bag. He's going to be deceived and caught into his own trap. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, in bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And it's a physical mark, the digital all. Charagma. And look up mark and you go back to the Hebrew, it's charagma. It's like a branding, some type of branding system implemented. And that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So you're not going to be able to buy, you're not going to be able to participate in the society. Pretty much they're going to shut you out, man. That's the purpose of that digital grid, so they can control everything you do, your movements, what you eat. And like I say, once they put that chip inside, it may rewire your whole system, man. They control the things that you do. Because we already know they're deep into that MK Ultra and these things of being able to control people. So that's what they want to be able to do, man. Make pretty much robots out of everybody. So Lord will, man, it's less edifying. We just have to hold on. Keep your head up, keep your head on the swivel in these times. Not get distracted. Pray and call on the name of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. Lord will is edifying. With that, say Shalom.